broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bob's Burgers After Show here at AfterBuzz TV, Season 6, Episode 10, Lice Things Are Lice.
Yeah. Nice.
Which, I don't really get the pun there. Like, it's not, you know, the LR thing, doesn't apply
like, nice
to this.
Things are nice.
Nice things are nice, lice things are lice. Sure, okay, it's fine. It's a title.
I mean, that's how I thought about the nurse, too. I was like, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll talk about her in a second. If you guys have not done so already, please be sure to head on over to iTunes, subscribe, leave us reviews, let us know what you think. If you are listening on iTunes, however, remember, you can always also watch on YouTube, where you can leave us a thumbs up to give us your seal of approval, and also watch live every week. And speaking of, we are watching the live chat on YouTube, as well as monitoring the hashtag ABTVBobsB, because Bob's Burgers would be too much hashtag and not enough characters to tag people in your tweets.
Too much bun, not enough meat in that burger.
Exactly.
Oh, you are
exactly.
back.
It's already happening.
I'm just going to be down here.
I am Emma Fyffe. You can follow me all over the internet at Emma Fyffe, which is my name, and I am joined by two lovely ladies whose names happen to begin with A. We have Alana Jordan.
Hi, I'm Alana Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan, and on Instagram at That Alana Jordan Girl.
And Alexis Torres.
Hey, guys, you can find me at atorres890 everywhere. We're all... Oh, never mind.
Sorry.
I was going to do the Emma Fyffe thing, because every time she says it, it makes my spine chill, because I'm like, oh, it's so cool. And I always tell people, I'm like, I have to get it from her, because she's fantastic.
Thank you. I'm just putting a value on myself, apparently, by saying anywhere Emma Fyffes are sold.
But I think it's great. And then when I tell people, they're like, where'd you get that from? I'm like, from the greatest thing ever called Emma Fyffe. But sure, we'll continue to Bob's Burger.
Thing named Emma Fyffe.
Yeah.
Right. Not a person, just an object.
No, that's what I mean.
I know. I'm just teasing you. All right. So, this episode, Lice Things Are Lice. I mean, at the heart of it, it was about a lice epidemic. But let's talk a little...
I think at the heart of it was about the brain of a crazy person.
Yes. Perhaps I should rephrase. Ostensibly, this was about a lice outbreak. Truthfully, it was about a crazy Nurse Ratched situation.
Oh my god, it was so
and
bad.
Butts. And farts.
Yep. Equally about butts and farts.
It's gonna happen.
So let's talk a little about the sort of B story involving the stools.
Emma, I'm so disappointed in you.
Well, I mean, it was the B story, because it wasn't the main focus of the episode, but it was also happening.
I saw what
It
you did
was
there.
it wasn't story number one. It was in fact more like story number two.
No.
If you haven't gotten it already, folks, at iTunes, if you could see the terribleness that's happening in my face. Puns are awesome, but sometimes
They're a little much.
Yes.
Yes.
And the beautiful lady sitting next to me is the queen of puns. And,
Accurate.
Right? And,
Puns are good, but poots are better.
Oh!
Let's talk about them.
About.
Well, I mean, for the most part, they weren't real.
Yes, which I thought was actually kind of funny, because
90% of the farts.
Well, no,
correct.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. No, you're completely right. I thought it was interesting, because I thought they were going to be whoopee cushioned, made.
Oh yeah,
cushions.
I was like, I have to admit, I had that thought for a second as well,
Right?
Alexis. I mean, I didn't think that was necessarily terribly in character.
No.
For Bob.
No.
But that thought did cross my mind. No, it was interesting, because I mean, one of the things that I actually kind of liked about the beginning of this story was that we got to see that crossover in personality traits between Louise and Linda when they're both reacting to Bob unveiling these stools.
Oh man,
which was amazing. Just having them. Which one's the new one?
Yes.
The one that's not attached.
Right. Yeah, they're like, so that's that. Oh, that's the new one. Oh, yeah, they're.
You people don't understand.
They're great. They totally changed the whole restaurant.
Yep.
Yep.
And then changing without actually changing them.
Yep. Exactly. And then of course Teddy comes in and wow, and you can't even recognize the place.
Oh, where am I?
And sometimes you wonder with Teddy, you're like, do you think he was being sincere or he was being like fake sincere, make Bob happy?
He would do anything to make Bob happy.
I know, but that's the thing. That's the thing that I think is really interesting because I agree with you, Alexis. Like, I don't think he truly believed what he was saying, but it doesn't come from. But it comes from such a good place of like, I want Bob to be happy.
I think by this point he's lied to himself enough about the glory that is Bob that he now believes it. So if Bob likes the new seats are the best.
Yes. And I love that, of course, the first people to come in when they have these new stools are looking to have a reception for a funeral.
Why?
Well, for comedy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have to say, too, in true Teddy fashion, I was quite a fan of the burger of the day being the total eclipse of the Havarti burger.
I was like, wow, that was beautiful. I'll take that one.
Yep.
That was great.
Yep.
All about it.
Yeah.
All about it.
Yep. Anytime you can get a little Bonnie Tyler in there, it's good. So good.
There were so many good pop culture references in this one too.
Yes.
I was like, man, writers, you were on it this episode. They're like, if we're gonna have fart jokes, we're gonna make them very clever.
See, I mean, this is
and classy.
Absolutely, because this is the thing, guys. I don't love fart jokes. It's, I just don't. But I loved them in this episode.
They were great.
Because this show is so good about, much like the kids, there's someone for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You can be a Jean. You can love the fart jokes.
Yeah.
You can be a Tina. You can be a Louise. Mm-hmm. There's something for everyone. And because it's so well crafted and so well written, all of the jokes land, regardless of your type of humor that you typically have.
Nope.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was just tickled pink by all of the farting stools. I really was. I thought it was hysterical, and that's not
tickled medium rare.
Oh no, that was a bad one, Elena. You're usually on point. That was really bad.
Oh,
You're adorable.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah. Anyway, but of course, I thought the best part of this whole sort of storyline was their solution to sort of, because I mean, they're not wrong in saying that vinyl stools, they do kind of make a farting noise when they're new.
Worst.
It's not quite as exaggerated as it was on the show, but it does happen.
Oh man,
we can't be known as the farty restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny? I would have been totally fine with that. It's really funny. Just be like, come in. You'll get a quick little surprise when you take an order.
Eat as much as you want. No one will know if they're real or fake if you get the poots.
That is true.
It's a marketing strategy.
That is a good marketing strategy. Yeah.
I just didn't understand why Bob didn't just replace the stools with the old
ones
ones just for that day.
There wouldn't be a plot.
There wouldn't be a plot. And also, Bob is not the kind of person that's going to back down from something that he has committed to. Mm-hmm. At this point, he is committed to these new stools, even though they look exactly like the old stools. And he's like, no, I got these new stools. We're going to make them work. And so they decide they have to spend the whole afternoon breaking these stools in so that when these people for this funeral arrive, the stools do not make farting noises. And the mailman shows up. And they're all it's Teddy and Linda and Bob, and they're all sitting on the stools, trying to break them in.
And he knows what's up immediately. I love it.
Yeah,
party stools, and I was like, what?
Yep. And Linda's like, oh, he's right. We got to band together with our friends, and he's like, I was not offering to help.
And I love how he's like, oh, free beer, and I was like, yeah, that's the thing I wanted to name my band was free beer.
Yeah,
just make everybody upset.
Yeah,
but you would get before people caught on, you'd get a lot of people come to your shows.
It'd be great. Mm-hmm. And there would already be ticket sales through the roof.
Yep. So here's my question. I was trying. So they did give away free beer, actually?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seemed like it, which also seemed like this was an investment when it comes to these stools, man. The price.
Yeah.
I feel like with Bob, he's kind of like, he reminds me like a lot like how my grandpa is, where if he's already spent money and it's already crap, he's gonna use it to its best ability to say that he spent money for it.
Invest to fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that makes
sense. And I mean, that's an investment. I feel like Marshmallow's probably slamming them down.
Ooh, I love Marshmallow. She is
real
my
glad.
spirit animal when she was just like, "Ooh, I really put that cushion to the push-in." And I was like, "Yes, you
I was so excited
so many
when she
good
showed up.
cushion puns too, like the no cracks, no tears, little extra cushion. Is that what you said when you met Mom?
Yeah, like,
oh, Gene.
Yeah.
He's always just really good to just sneak in one of those in there. I've always loved him.
But I feel like Linda thinks they're all awesome compliments.
I think so. I think it just goes right over her head.
Yeah. But yes, I was very happy to see that Marshmallow showed up. She comes in and she's like, "All right, I'm here and my butt is ready."
I was like, yeah.
This was like Tina's dream episode. It starts with like a butt fantasy when she's in the nurse, and then just continues to be butts
to the butt.
Yeah. Okay. So sort of the main plot kind of comes out of the fact that Tina is working to get her nursing badge for Thunder Girls.
So has anyone, I know it's not like completely off topic, but has anyone ever done that hearing test at school or at a doctor's office?
Oh yeah.
I just love how she was just like, beep. And she's like, I can hear it, but I can also smell it. And I'm like, I always thought those things were weird, those hearing tests.
Yeah. I always felt, because I was such an overachiever, like I always felt like I really was. Like I was so super attentive. I was like, I'm gonna hear all of the beeps. I'm gonna get a perfect score on this hearing test.
I was the same way. It was weird, but I love how Louise.
But everyone did. Like that was the thing, is the beeps were not that quiet. Like it was like, tell me when it happens. Beep, and you're like, ow, that was it. Obviously,
but
I really won't hear the next one because I'm now partially deaf.
Yeah, it's like,
but I love how Louise was just slowly raising her hand. She was just like, I am attentive. I'm participating.
Yes.
Look at me, I'm doing it.
Yes, but Tina at this point in her nursing career is only allowed to hand out Band-Aids and ice packs.
I feel like I've been there before for something.
Something. I mean, at work, we're not even allowed to hand out Band-Aids, so Tina's ahead of us.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
Come on,
but anyway, so yes, it does start with Tina having that fantasy about
adorable.
how helpful she's going to be with an ice pack.
Oh yeah, you gotta save the butt. 50 cc's of ice.
50 cc's of ice.
That's a good butt on Jimmy Jr. Just gotta save it.
To cure butt fever.
Butt fever.
I feel like Tina needs to cure her own butt fever at some point. I feel
she
like
does. She just sticks it all in the butt bank, and that's what she does. And just leaves it there.
Yeah.
For later.
Yep. And it just builds up, and then it manifests in the form of dreams about butt fever.
Hey man, whatever works. But I like K.M. Mayhem. Saying about the stools, they're cute and full of farts, just like the kids.
Yeah, I wrote that. I wrote that quote down too. That was super.
It's one
funny.
of my favorites.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wrote down a couple of quotes from the episode. That was definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes. Okay. So when Tina is like bonding with Nurse Liz, because basically she's like shadowing Nurse Liz for the day to get her nursing badge, and Nurse Liz is like telling her tragic tale of, I didn't become a school nurse because like I wasn't accepted to any hospitals. I mean, that was part of it, but like I want to help kids. I just want to help kids. And Tina's like, I get it. You want your life to be like the Hurt Locker, except nobody's getting hurt by their locker.
I love it.
Whoa.
They were so good.
Yeah.
This week was on it. Even just kicking it off with the Footloose prosthetic adjustments.
Oh, I know. That was really funny.
Oh, I love that you guys were so attentive with the building on the side.
Yeah, it was great.
I love them.
Yeah, it was super great. Yes, and so Tina is shadowing Nurse Liz, and both of her siblings end up in the nurse's office because, as we find out, as is very true at an elementary school, everyone is faking being sick.
Yeah.
Or injured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which I get how it can make you a little crazy, Nurse Liz. I mean, not quite to
the extent that Nurse Liz goes crazy.
To Brittany with an umbrella crazy, but like, she's
Yeah, no, she's not.
I can see
she's
how
cuckoo
it would
for
be
Cocoa
annoying.
Puffs.
Yeah,
no,
from
for sure.
Footloose
really
to
is.
Screw Loose, like it just straight up.
Or
Wow.
several screws.
Oh,
yeah.
like I think most of them.
It's just they're all back at the hardware store. There are no more.
Yeah. No.
No, it's kind of like with IKEA where you can't find that one part and you have to go back and go get that other one, but you don't feel like driving all the way over there to go get it.
Oh, yep. And you're just like looking at the drawings in the
Just
IKEA
hoping.
manual, and you're looking at the angry person like breaking stuff with an axe, and you're like, I'm about to be that person.
I love that Liz is IKEA when it has failed you. Like that is the perfect metaphor.
But it's so true. Like I love how
Oh my God,
I don't remember
so
if it's if it's 30 Rock or Parks and Rec where they take couples, or like if you go to IKEA as a couple, you end up broken up at the very end of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I feel like anytime I see a couple at
I feel
IKEA
like that
at the
was
start,
I feel like that was 30 Rock.
I think so.
Yeah,
At the
30
start,
Rock,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh guys, you're not gonna make it.
No.
Like, and then by the end,
good
they just
luck.
look grumpy, hungry. Those Swedish meatballs can only get you so
I know,
far.
and you're just like lost in a fake living room set.
I usually just take a nap halfway through.
Listen, it is the opposite of going to Sofa Queen. Like in that
that is
episode,
very,
it's not
very
that-
true.
that IKEA is not like that.
Not even close. I love how we went from crazy people to crazy furniture stores.
yeah, but it's
It's the
so
way
true.
things make you insane. IKEA or kids fake and sick repeatedly.
Yeah,
so
I mean-
she just needs something to be real, even if it's only real in her own
her head.
crazy town banana pants brain.
Yes, because she basically first of all,
Oh boy.
there is no such thing as super
super
lice. What is a super louse? A super
An
louse.
awesome band name.
We will
Great.
infect you
Yeah.
with our great music.
Super lice.
Yeah, I'm like, what is a super lice? Number one, and also Tammy does not have lice.
Yeah. I was really surprised that she didn't have lice.
I agree with you, Alexis. Yeah.
I was a little
I
upset.
thought it was gonna be lice. I thought they were gonna have like peanut butter. Like she was gonna figure out like, oh, here's the actual normal person
I know.
cure for lice.
No,
Weird.
I'm totally with you on that, Elena. Like, I thought this was gonna be Nurse Liz's chance to like shine, you know, to do what she said she wanted to do. I didn't peg her as being a crazy person at the beginning of this episode.
Until
No one did.
Well,
That's the
because Tina, I feel like, is like Tina connects with adults in a really interesting way. So I thought this was going to be like about Tina and Liz saving the school, but it was not.
It was it took a complete left turn. I was just
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
When all of a sudden, so basically, they go through Tammy's phone and they see all the people that Tammy's taken selfies with. So basically, her head was close enough to theirs.
What a great tool.
I know.
would have never thought of that. I would have been
Tina's
like,
clever.
She's very clever.
She's a smart cookie.
Yeah, she totally
knows
is.
what's up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like they're like, okay, so all these people took selfies with Tammy, so their heads were close enough to Tammy's that the lice have been transferred. So we need to quarantine all of them in the nurse's office. Under which circumstances we also find out that Louise is terrified of beds in front of doors, beds blocking doors.
Yeah, I don't understand. I didn't understand that.
I think that was just more of a I don't want to be locked in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Get me out.
Yeah,
Less
exactly.
so of like, you know, people with actual ailments. Like I have asthma, and she's like, I have a I hate this syndrome.
Right, yeah.
So can we?
What's the kid's name who has asthma? It's killing me. I can't remember, but I just felt bad for him the entire time. He's just, I just need to breathe because I
know.
use my inhaler as an air freshener, and I'm like, who does that?
I just love Andy and Ollie so
Oh my
much, just
God.
rubbing their
The
heads
Silverman
on each
sisters,
other
right?
so their lice can be buds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Silverman sisters,
Yeah, they
right?
do their
They're
voices,
just
yeah.
every time Bob's Burgers comes up and those two come on, I'm just like, you girls got it. I mean, you're boys, but like
Andy
oh my
and
gosh.
Ollie.
Andy and
Oh
Ollie
my
are just
God.
they're so dumb, but they're so perfect.
I know, and it's like weird twin relationships. So weird.
great.
But it's great, yeah, because it is totally that trope of the like weird twin
really
No, like,
relationships.
that's what I was gonna say. I was like an animator,
It's
like,
like-
at a whole
it's
different
totally-
level. But for this, it's like
Yeah, no, it's true, but it is that anime trope, like just in
so
Bob's
close.
Burgers, like toned down, but not really.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you're gonna have to just Google it
Yeah,
on your
exactly,
own.
yeah.
A flash forward episode where we see Andy and Ollie in the future. Like just
my
so bad.
God.
I want to see them as grown men.
I would love to see everybody as adults.
Yes.
Just to see what happened as Bob and Linda as like these old people with Gail next to them,
I
and
feel
then
like Tammy will be exactly the same.
Oh,
yeah, I think so too.
speaking of my favorite moment of the entire episode was when Tina deduced that the mystery selfie was Mr. Frond. And then they've already come up with a solution that, like, oh, how do we cure super lice? We just shave everyone's heads. And Mr. Frond is like, oh no. Like, basically Tina's like, oh, Mr. Frond, like, you're the other person. He's like, well, I might have leaned in for a selfie. I'm hip with the times.
I was like, no,
and so then, because he's right there when they determine this, like, Nurse Liz goes crazy and starts to shave his head because he's right next to her. And he's like, oh, no, don't. Oh, please don't shave my head. I'm going on a date and I need to look like my picture. And Tina's like, you're going on a date with someone who isn't my Aunt Gail?
Yeah.
Oh, and then she gets to get her revenge because she holds him down to get his head shaved.
I loved
that he was like, Tina, you're hurting me. And I was like, yeah, you don't mess with the Belchers.
I loved it. And we
yeah.
see Tina like her, like, oh, the Nurse Liz is insane. We can't do that. Oh, well, I will go insane for my family.
No.
What up, Crazy Town Banana Pants? We're on the same page. Let's go.
No, that was great. And I loved his weird little just missing X in the middle of
I know, it was
his
great.
head.
That was so great.
A little poodle, little puff in the middle of his forehead. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that to me, because who hasn't, like, found out something that could potentially hurt somebody that they care about, and you just want to, like, burn that person.
Do you think that we're gonna revisit that topic?
We better.
I hope so.
I feel certain that anytime that there are big things like that are kind of tossed in, they tend to revisit it and kind of tie it all together.
I want to see Aunt Gail and see how she takes care of it.
I just want to see Aunt Gail always.
Well, no, I love her. Her cats. Like, she's so adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, I will be very interested to see. I feel like that is something that's going to come back.
I need it because I want to see what happens after that.
I want to see Louise lose her mind over it.
I was surprised that Louise wasn't the one that did, but I like that it was Tina who kind of took care of it, big sister style.
And also, the other thing is Tina is such a romantic that it makes sense that it would really upset Tina.
Yeah. No.
You know, not to say if Louise weren't up close and personal with it and not panicking about being trapped in a room, that she wouldn't have also reacted very strongly. But it's not the same as Tina's reaction.
Tina was just on it tonight too. I love my favorite of the whole night had to be when Tammy is saying, "Why do all the bad things happen to me?" And they're like, "It's happening to all of us."
I know. Yeah.
She's like, "But I'm blonde." And then Tina, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
She's like, shut up. Just
shut it down.
Just
shut it down.
I know.
Shut up.
So I was like, dang, Tina in with the zing.
That sass was perfect. I was just like, okay, you can go sip your tea now. Okay.
Tina was not messing around tonight.
No, and I'm really.
She was taking no prisoners. I love it.
I think since we came back from the giant break that we
I know,
had,
yeah, it was so
Tina
bizarre.
has been extremely on point. Same thing with Mama. Like, I think that, like, Mama Belcher's just been, like, on top of everything, and so is
Linda.
Tina.
Yeah.
Both Linda and Tina were just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're drinking or sipping. I don't know. But,
Well, for Linda, it's wine. Always. Just
a bottle. Yeah. Oh, boy.
For Tina, she's just drunk off of the idea of bottoms.
No.
everywhere.
I think whatever butt fever that she's going through, it's doing something.
It's working for her.
I don't know. But
that and sexy erotic friend fiction.
hey, man.
Yeah.
Also
whatever
featuring
works.
butts.
It's from
Featuring butts.
oogling butts to kicking butts.
Yep.
No, she's doing great.
Yep.
She's on it.
Yeah, I want to see more of this.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then the kids all do actually break free from the nurse's office.
Which was crazy. Well, after we found out that she pretty much shaved up her whole head and her eyebrows.
That's commitment.
Yeah, that was when we saw that crazy left turn where we were like, oh.
Yeah, because didn't Tammy take off the glove?
Yeah, well, because basically what happened was
was it Louise?
Yeah, Louise. She
Okay.
And attacked and rubbed Tammy onto her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
it's
weapon.
in part of Louise's plan to be
get out.
released.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does, because they're wearing, surgical gloves on their heads, because why not?
I mean,
Oh, I'm doing that too. I love that.
Yeah,
Tina,
okay.
put a glove on your head. Oh.
Yeah, that was the first sign of, like, okay, maybe she's a little crazy. But again, like, I thought that came from a sincere place of, like, all right, well, she's like scrubbing in for the whatever's gonna happen.
oh man.
Yeah, and but no, she's just crazy. She's totally crazy.
I just, if you guys could have seen how I grabbed Emma's arm, because I was like, this is not happening right now. Because I was not expecting her to just fully just go like, aha, now you have lice, and she just, and I was like,
Yep.
no, and she's like,
I know. And Tina was like, are you okay? You're looking like you should be someone who's lying down under observation. Why
great.
Yeah.
Oh, she was nuts.
That was intense. I love that even Mr. Fran buys into it though when she's like, "Or do you love parents?" She's like, "No, my parents are awful. I'm on your side. Don't shove me."
Yep.
Also, why is he on her side when she just shaved part of his head?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Mr. Fran.
I feel like a lot of
Rated
He's going
in, man.
downhill. I don't know what happened to him, but
I don't know. He's just messing with Aunt Gail, and I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, I
Seems
hate it.
like he would be a lot more chill if he was at home cuddling an absurd amount of
Yeah,
cats.
absolutely.
Yeah, no, everything would be
Just
fine.
saying.
Yep.
And I know he has one too, so I'm like, what up? What's
Yeah,
happening?
just have a cat party. It'll
know.
make
Oh,
everybody feel better.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, what a disappointment, especially after the episode that
We just
we
had.
last saw him and Aunt Gail in.
But he like truly cared about her and everything.
feel-
So that's why I was like, what?
I feel super betrayed right now, you guys.
I thought that they broke up, so I was just like, oh, that's why he's dating already. But then
Oh,
when
no,
Tina
no.
said, oh no,
That's what I was like, when did
Yeah,
they break up?
I
didn't-
agree. And I was waiting for the explanation of like, oh, things didn't work out, and then I would have been sad, but it's no.
he's cheating on her. Woof. I'm upset.
I bet he hasn't even responded to her text messages.
Don't say it is no.
No.
I don't want to think about it
I know.
because it's not even fair. Aunt Gail works really hard
She
to
does.
love people.
She really does.
We're gonna.
and he made her that really cute little
That's
puppet.
what I was gonna say.
I
We're gonna have to
know.
light that puppet on fire.
I
We're
I
gonna
want to
have
light that puppet on
Why
fire.
would you give a gift to somebody that you didn't genuinely care about?
And you can't. I mean, and they haven't
It makes
even.
me really sad.
But also like the fact that like I don't even know
At least
what
she
the
got a
time
cool
frame.
present.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like what's the time frame? Because I feel like that was really fast because we don't really know how time works in Bob's Burgers.
No, we
either.
don't. Yeah.
So like, have they been fighting? Like, I don't understand how this all played out. I'm so confused.
yeah, yeah. Again, as we have revisited it on this after show, hopefully they will also revisit it on the actual show. So then, of course, we get the classic kids running through the hallway trying to
Yeah.
escape the school scenario. And they get to the end of a hallway, and we have to choose to go left or go right. Pretty much everybody goes left,
That was weird. I was not expecting
which
that.
is
I was
statistically improbable.
like, don't usually most people
Yes,
choose to go
because
right? Yeah.
most people are right-handed,
Yeah,
so they
and I
choose
was
to
like,
go right.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just a big left-handed.
Yeah,
group.
apparently they all fought. They all fought their instincts and turned left. I'm seeing a parallel now where it was like I was on this path with Nurse Liz, where I was like, "Yeah, she's gonna get a chance to do some real good and cure this lice outbreak," and then she took a hard left.
And then everyone else took a hard left.
The kids took a left. She also took a left, following the kids that went to the left.
It
and
was just weird.
I do have to say, I loved when she corners them though, and she's like, "We're gonna take this nice and easy." No, wait, lice and easy.
And I was like-
and even the kids are like, "Yeah, good one.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Please
even
don't
gave
shake
her
our
that.
heads, but that we gotta give you that one. That was good."
it was not.
Lord
No, it was
mercy.
bad. But Tammy and Louise go right. The most unlikely of pairs.
Yeah, that was very strange. I feel like they're always stuck at Tammy's. What was it, bat mitzvah? Bat
Yes,
mitzvah?
yes, bat mitzvah.
And they were stuck in her head, and she
Oh,
was trying to pour
yeah.
guacamole out of
Yeah.
her nose and stuff. That was rough
Yep.
for everybody. And
Yeah.
Tina was taken over because she was drunk with power again.
Yep.
I'm noticing a trend. But I loved that the one thing that, again, how we always talked about how Bob's Burgers brings reality to us a lot of times was the librarian.
Oh my God.
Whoa. I was like, I know so many teachers who are like that. What? The librarian emergency with this. Yeah, okay, it's a stapler. Oh, I must go right now. I'm like, all right. Okay,
I
that
I love
works.
that Louise knows that too when they're
Yeah.
hiding, and she's like, "Don't worry, he'll leave soon. He hates his job."
And I was like,
Everyone here hates it.
So good. Whoa.
We're seeing a trend.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was great. I also loved before they got to the library when Louise is like, you're the last person that I want to be escaping with. And Tammy's like, no, we're escaping separately together.
Yeah. That was great.
But I love that ultimately they turn right, both literally and proverbially.
Yeah, and proverbially. Good Good word.
I liked that. I love how Misha C says, "Hey everyone, Mr. Franz can go to doll hell, LOL." And I'm like, I mean,
agreed.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Nobody hurts Aunt Gail and doesn't get a knuckle sandwich. Like, I'm just saying. But yeah, this episode was crazy.
I know.
And I love that she just Louise was able to find the medical encyclopedia in a elementary, junior high school.
Yeah, apparently Wagstaff School is very advanced. Oh, that was so funny too when Tammy was like, "This can't happen to me. I go to private school."
We go to public
Tina
school.
was like, "This is public school."
She's like, "No!" I was like, "How did you not? How long have you been going here?"
Man.
I also
Lord.
just feel like the number of times they use the word gross this episode.
Oh,
If you made this a drinking game,
You'd be wasted.
you wouldn't even be here for this show right now. Because you'd be past
Jocelyn.
Yes.
Oh, she was perfect. I love how she was just like, "Okay, tell us what's going on with this lice." And then like Nurse Liz is telling everything. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw up."
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, stop talking.
Oh my god, you're so gross.
And I love it.
That's what they announced to all the kids.
I know.
Unrelated.
So it was hilarious, yeah, because they like put up this quarantine thing over the door on the
just
nurse's
a piece of
office,
tape.
and Jocelyn is just like reporting live from in front of the nurse's office, and the nurse comes out.
AR Club?
Yeah, and like explains all the disease, and she's like, "Ah, gross. No, I don't know."
Oh god, please stop. Oh god.
Yeah. But ultimately, them getting the medical textbook, they go back to the nurse's office to rescue everyone who's been caught by Nurse Liz and is going to have their heads shaved, starting with the twins.
Yeah, and I love how he's like, "All right, I'm ready to go." And I was like, "No, please don't shave off his head. He's so cute. Don't do it."
They're so cute and so weird.
That would be their nightmare, though, to shave one of their heads and not the other.
Oh, they would have a complete emotional
It would
collapse.
they would break down.
I think, I'll save it for predictions. I have like a thing that I really want them to do. It's more like a want instead of a prediction, but I have
All right.
things.
Well, we'll talk about hopes and dreams for the future after we wrap up talking about the episode, which we are almost done with. But what I liked was that the end of this episode, again, it like all comes back to Tina. Like
every time.
Even though this wasn't per se a Tina-centric episode, and Tina ends up just sort of being amongst the victims and part of the circumstances, she's also the solution in the end. Because Louise tries to be the solution by coming back with the medical textbook and being like, "Yeah, Tammy doesn't have lice. She has dandruff."
Oh, I felt so bad that she was just like all up in Tammy's hair, just like, "Look at it, it's snowing."
For nothing, because she underestimated Nurse Liz's crazy.
She sure did.
And you would think by that time, it's like, okay, she just shaved her head because you touched the
Yeah.
patient zero to
Right.
her. Of course she's going to go, no, she has both.
Yep.
I'm still shaving your heads.
Yep.
And she's like, "Oh, wow." And Tammy's like, "I was almost out the window, Louise."
Yep.
That was crazy.
But Tina comes up with the real solution, which was, I love that Tina was like Sherlock Holmes in the end of this
She was
episode. Like
great.
it was like Sherlock Holmes, like deduction, where
Yeah.
she's like, "All right, Nurse Liz, read the book. Read what it says in the textbook."
And I didn't notice that at first when Louise showed it to her. And I was like, "Wait, what are those things on her nose?" Because, I mean, for people who wear glasses, we have the
All
little
of us.
indents. Every single one of them. Like, I would show you, but you can't probably
Yep.
see it. Like,
No.
as an if I was
Yeah,
an
we're not
cartoon.
cartoon characters.
Yeah.
If we were cartoon characters, you'd see them very clearly. But
Only if it was a part of the plot.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yes,
we
yes.
wouldn't waste
You are
time
correct.
drawing it.
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That is true. Yeah, that basically what we learn is that Nurse Liz wears glasses and she can't see well enough without them on to read, and therefore could not possibly see well enough to find lice on Tammy's head.
Yep.
And Tina knew that she wore glasses again because of the little indentation marks on either side of the nose.
And for squinting.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love how Jean was like, "Oh, gosh, I forgot what he said about the fact of the little things on her." Oh, he thought that she was wearing fake glasses to hide the little marks on her nose. And I was like, "What?" That was one of those
That
Jean
makes
moments where I
sense
was
for
like,
Jean.
Yeah, I was like, that makes sense for Jean. It just really threw me off because that's not what I was expecting him to say. It was great.
Yep.
But has he ever said anything you expect him to say? I feel like
no,
Gene
you're
is
right.
only consistent in his inconsistency.
Yeah, I agree.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that's what it like. Gene is like the king of the unexpected, and it's beautiful. Oh,
I love that.
So beautiful. One last little note about the B story. When the funeral does finally actually arrive at the restaurant.
Oh, boy.
And that scene where they're all filing in, and of course we know there's going to be a bunch of elderly people there.
Yeah.
And they come in, and there's the older lady, and she's like, "Oh, the counter looks nice."
And I love how like the funeral director's like, "Yeah," as he's like rubbing up against the counter, and I
know. They suddenly are. It was very comical the way they all came in, and they're like, "Oh, the counter."
And I was like, "Do you guys just love counters? Like, I don't understand. You should go to the counter. It's really nice.
I know.
If you come out to LA,
yeah, the counter's great.
Yeah,
totally.
I
Yeah,
love that
love
place.
it. Love me some burgers at the counter. Delicious. And then, and Linda like tries to like shove her into a booth.
get in the
She's like, "Oh, are you the widow? We have a special booth already."
VIP just for the widow. It's the widow VIP booth.
And she's like, ow, you're hurting me. And she's like,
No, I'm helping.
I felt so bad. He's like, all right. No, I love the other part was when Bob was telling Linda to take 5 after she was sitting there just like, take 5, Lynn. Oh, okay.
And then Teddy keeps on.
Teddy, stop.
Just a cacophony of farts.
While he's having a conversation with this guy that wants to have them.
Oh, it was so great. I loved everything.
But because Linda's being a little pushy, they're like, "Okay, fine. Nope, sit wherever you want. And so she, of course, goes over to the counter. And we've established that there's one stool that they just can't quite get the farts out of.
There's a third stool, right?
Yeah, the third stool.
The third stool is the extra farty stool.
And that's when the widow sits there, and it just
Woof.
lets one rip.
Yeah, no. But it did sound, not to be extra picky, but I was like, it sounded different from the farts that we were hearing earlier. And that was just me being attentive.
It sounded different than the vinyl farts.
But it was. It did sound different. And I love how they're like, Teddy, I can't tell the difference. Can you check, see that? And he's like, yeah, all right. And then like scoot on over and he's like, it's real. It's a real one. I was like, wow, he's screaming. That's what he's doing. He's screaming in this poor lady's ear. And I love how she didn't say anything until the very end of the episode.
Yep.
And, what did she say?
She said that her husband would have loved that place.
Oh, Roger would have loved this place.
Yeah.
And then the director was like, And then we had the greatest ending song ever.
Oh, it was so good.
And my favorite part was when they were doing the little farts and they would just kind of swish in their chair real quick and continue. And I was like,
a little fart choir.
Bob's Burgers animators, you guys make me so happy.
Yep. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we let Alexis tell us about her hopes and dreams for the future?
I just love that after Nurse Liv shaved her head, they go, she looks like Michael Chiklis.
I know, she also looks a little like Michael Chiklis.
This is really funny because we actually have Michael Chiklis' daughter who hosts here, Autumn Chiklis.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that, sorry.
Yeah,
Love you,
that's
Autumn.
so true. Yes.
They just have so many good references in the show. It's
We
so
have a
good. And I
lot.
love that ultimately Louise still gets out of her pop quiz with the help of her siblings when
Did you see the
LeBron
way
is
her
like,
leg was like angled? I was like, whoa, I can't do that, but she's a
she's just
cartoon.
bending it.
I was going to say, that is the advantage of being a cartoon.
Yeah.
is
You
you
make
can just
anything look crazy.
rotate your whole body parts around.
I think that it would just be having the same outfit every day.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've seen, what was it in Hey Arnold? He opened his closet and it was just all the same
exactly.
outfit.
Yeah, oh, I love
Good for
that.
you, Doug.
Doug, yes, definitely
Yes.
happened on Doug.
I loved that. I was like, all right.
That was definitely a Nicktoons trope where like they addressed the fact that like cartoon
They
characters.
addressed it.
Oh no!
You did it, and you didn't even mean to.
I didn't.
We're goodbye, everybody.
Alexis was gonna share something with us, but
worth
look
it.
at the time. As I look at my empty wrist.
my watch is not even correct. Daylight saving. It's like 2
Oh
hours
man,
late.
daylight savings. Yes. So Alexis, what is your not prediction? Your hopes and dreams for the future of this show?
I would love to have an episode with one of the twins either getting so sick or had to leave for any reason, and we had to deal with them separated.
I don't know if I would want to see it.
I
I think it
know.
would give me too much anxiety.
It would hurt my soul. I just want to see what would happen.
I know. I'm
It
trying.
wouldn't last. He would come back at the end of the episode. He's gone for like 6 hours.
I
Yeah.
just feel like that's a cruel experiment. It's like taking a magnifying glass to an ant to see
I
what
know.
happens.
Because,
I'm like,
I mean,
it's not.
Because
no.
I'm trying to remember because there's been a lot of episodes of Bob's Burgers.
I feel
at this
like
point.
there has been a time where they were separated.
I feel like there has, but I'm trying to remember if there was ever a time where they didn't like each other for an episode. You know, like that's something we see in twin stories a lot too.
I wasn't thinking like he like disappeared or anything. I was thinking like the whole like shave your head, or maybe he broke his leg and he can't play. You know what I mean? So he has to stay indoors all day. So then he
I feel like the other one would
Louise.
just break their leg too to make sure that they match.
And they would try, and they would try, and then Jimmy Pesto's like, go outside, leave your brother alone, and then he would have to force himself to play with Louise. You know what I mean? And then follow Louise around for an episode, which I feel like happens all the time, but I want to see it so drastic that it would be like, wow, we get to learn some new stuff about one of the twins.
Yeah, I agree. No, it would be it definitely would be interesting to see one of them like it would be interesting if one of them like followed Louise and the other one followed Tina.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like something like it would just like something would have happened, whether they either got into an argument or something happened and they have to separate, or like maybe they're like, I don't want to look like you anymore, shave, and then like hang out with Jean.
I just can't imagine that
it would be weird. It would be so weird, but I think that Bob's Burgers can do that justice. But again,
I think they could absolutely do it justice too, and it's definitely again something that we see in twin stories.
Yeah, or if let's say they just got into like hair dye or something, and maybe his hair was black, like the Belchers. And they didn't see each other as like twins, so he's like, "Well, I can't do this anymore." And then he tries
feels like he has to be part of the Belcher family,
like that kind of thing, and see what would happen.
It is such a testament to this show that we are this invested in the secondary characters,
in super minor characters. Like let's get real.
Every single character on this show is amazing. They could do an episode about any of them.
Yes, thank you. Misha in the chat said, "Yeah, there was the museum trip. They got separated. Mr. Fogg made them separate from each other because."
Oh my God.
You know, he's the school psychologist, so that's something that he would absolutely do. Like, you need to, establish separate identities. And yes, they had a complete meltdown.
Yeah, I do remember that. I didn't even watch that episode. Right. But that one, this one's not like super crazy drastic. I just would like to see him like try to be more enveloped with like the Belchers, and the other kids just like, no, come back to me. And he's like, no.
And yes, Stephen, I had a very nice birthday weekend. Thank you for wishing me well.
Oh, I love that. But yeah, I don't know. That's just something that I would like to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Or like, I don't know.
That's the thing. Again, it's not just the twins. It's any of those sort of secondary characters that like they're such quirky characters that even in the little tiny bit of screen time that they get, we feel like we know just enough about them that we're fascinated by them and we want to see episodes about the secondary characters.
Yeah, and I felt the same way actually with Tammy this episode, since she's always talking about being a blonde. Like, I would love to see what she looked like before she was a blonde. Yes. And then maybe something happens where she has to, like, maybe the blonde, like, she ran out of blonde dye and she can never find that exact blonde dye. So then she becomes a totally different person, and, like, her and Tina are best friends. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I am just jealous that Tammy has a scrunchy closet.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm like, it's really funny because I actually went to Target and bought like 2 like packs of scrunchies because I keep losing mine and I just want a scrunchy closet. You gotta build a closet. Apparently so.
Need a scrunchy closet.
I'm gonna do it, guys.
Solution right there.
Scrunchy closet.
Solution.
I'm straight up Gail. I have a little closet for my cats. That's real life right there.
Hey, man.
Anything else you guys want to bring up from this episode?
No, I can't wait for more Bob's Burgers.
I know.
I want more.
I know.
Please.
I'm hungry for more.
Oh, gosh.
I guess I'll let that one slide.
Yeah! You let it sliders?
Okay. Time to end this show. This show is over. No, but in all seriousness, we are going to conclude this episode of the Bob's Burgers After Show. Alexis Torres, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me all over social media as aTorres890. Please, please, please come hang out with me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ps890. I have a vlog up there that's happening. It's called Hump Day Lunch Hour. It's where I talk on Wednesdays about just random topics in my car during my lunch hour. We talked about last week about social media and how crazy it is, Kim Kardashian stuff, things like that. Just want to know your opinions and then just hang out with me, talk.
Yeah.
I love it.
Elena.
You can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan, ALANAJORDAN, and on Instagram at That Alana Jordan Girl.
And I'm Emma Fyffe. You can follow me all over the internet at Emma Fyffe, which is my name, though I did also recently get Snapchat.
Yeah, she did.
I don't think I like it, guys, but I'm 60% F on Snapchat. So that's 60, like spell out the word 60% and then the letter F because my last name is 60% F.
It is?
Yeah, so I'm on Snapchat, so you guys can snap at me. Yeah. Maybe I'll understand the point of
Take
Snapchat.
pictures of the most delicious burgers that you eat and send it to Emma.
And snap them at me.
So that she knows Snapchat is nothing but cats and delicious food foods,
Yes.
and that's why it's awesome.
All right. Well, you guys should do that then. Please. You can see about a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz TV. Face Off on Wednesdays as well, along with both of these ladies, as well as the Star Wars Rebels after show. And I'm also doing Transformers Robots in Disguise also on Sundays, as well as a bunch of other things. Follow me on Twitter, guys. I tweet a lot, and you'll know all about all the cool, fun things that I'm doing with my life, because it's a pretty great life.
Yes, it is.
Thank you again to all of you for joining us this evening, and we will be back again next time with another episode of the Bob's Burgers After Show. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.